Hi, this is Pete Eckman with the RoboZone podcast. This is episode number 174. With me tonight, I have some champs, some Michigan champs, and we'll get to that. But before that, we're going to say hi to John from Kettering University. John, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm ready to go back in time. I need that time stone thing to twist it like Doctor Strange does and go back to January. And I'm ready to do it all over again.
You could just forward time to January 22 and tell me what the game is.
What the new game is and take it back. And yeah. But I mean, it was so good having a real season.
Yeah.
And when you don't have one, you learn kind of what you miss and the cool things and all the excitement. And hey, I'm gonna we'll get through the summer. We'll do summer camps and do all that stuff and do some off-season events and stuff. But hey, I could still just jump right in there on another season.
I can't believe it's only been a couple of weeks, but let's get to our other special guests. Thank you for the update, John. We'll get back to Kettering University at the end of the episode. But with me tonight, I have none other than Kyle Hughes, which is right below. Hi, Kyle.
Hi.
And to her left my left is Clinton Bolinger. Hi, Clinton.
How's it going?
Congratulations on your guys' team up for the Michigan State Championships. How does it feel?
Pretty awesome.
Amazing. And we can't forget Tornadoes. They were 50-90. Our partner, we couldn't have done it without them. So
I tried reaching out to them today. FYI, their website's down. So I tried to ping them on Twitter and you couldn't send them a direct message. So I tried to do the best I could to get them on here.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, yes, we won the Tornadoes 50-90 out of Trenton, right? Trenton, Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
Congratulations to them.
And
so
we
wanted to give you guys a couple weeks, not a couple weeks, but maybe a week of off time. Not that Clinton, you just got back from Texas, right? So
yeah, I've been doing robotics for the last month straight. I think I've had 4 days off where I'm not doing something related with robotics. So,
well, hopefully your vacation's coming, but we wanted to give you guys a little bit of time to unwind from Worlds, and you stayed there, Clinton. So you brought the warm weather back from Texas to Michigan. So thank you very much for that.
You're welcome. I try to do my best.
Yeah. When you guys left to go to Texas, it was in the 40s. You come back from Texas, it's in the 80s. That's Michigan. Yeah. So
I remember looking at my Ring doorbell and there was snow on the ground. So like the day before it was sunny, and the day we were heading down to Texas, there was snow on the ground. So
I miss Michigan State Championships to tell you the truth. Ever since then, I can't believe it's been 3 or 4 weeks now. I can't remember if it's 3 or 4. They're all mending together. But seeing you guys walk home with a couple banners, I know it was surreal for you. So what was it like, Kyle? I've seen the pictures where you were teary-eyed. I've seen the embracement photos. We had an amazing photographer there. He captured everything. Yes. But what is it like to win the state championship?
It's an amazing experience. We had an amazing season, and to win the state championship just kind of settled like my score for myself, that we had a good season, and it wasn't just stopped at states, but we went right through states, and we did what we needed to do. It was exciting. I think the biggest disappointment for me was that states was done Saturday, and on Sunday I was at the school from 1 to 4 trying to pack and get ready for Worlds. And then I got on a bus on Monday after school. And so we never really relished the championship. And in fact, the school, because we were gone, the school didn't even put an announcement out until this past week saying, and state champions. And I'm like, this was 3 weeks ago. But it was, part of that was because, well, a lot of times when the press goes out, it goes out because we initiate it, right? I mean, all the coaches have to write their own press releases and do that sort of thing. It wasn't in any of the Oakland County papers or anything like that. It was just our local paper. They got something out of me, but even that was an interview on the bus on the way down to World. So that was the frustrating thing, is that there was no time to celebrate. We're going to actually have a party this weekend, but it's kind of like it happened like a dream, because it happened and you moved on, you woke up and you went on, and there really wasn't that time to sit and just say, wow, look what we did. So hopefully we're going to get some time at our awards night to be able to do that. But it's kind of a big blur, to be perfectly honest with you. Those back-to-back tournaments were just horrible.
And I'm sure, Clinton, you would say the same, because you just got back, right?
Oh yeah, I mean, I totally agree. I mean, the same thing. We made the joke that after states, we, went home enough time to take our luggage from states, dump it into the washing machine, finish the wash, load it into the bags, and then head down to Texas on Monday morning. We left, 9 or 8 or 9 in the morning. Took 2 days to get down there, and with driving. So it was fast paced, and it was kind of crazy, a blur. A lot of emotions. I mean, for us, like, it was super emotional. Our schedule was not favorable, and we struggled with having a 0-7 record out of our first 7 matches. So we lost all of our matches that we went into. And we were with partners that should have were going to help us out, and it was the one time they fell, or the one time their vision system didn't work, and so it's kind of hard to come back from that. But it was great to be able to overcome those hurdles and everything, and still persevere and make it through to the end. And it's something that our teams have been chasing for a really long time. We really tried to think about the game and try to design something for Michigan State Championship, more than designing for Worlds or designing for district events. So we'll give up our ability to be better in the districts to be better at states.
Now there's a bunch of questions. I'm going to keep it to a couple because we're time boxed, right? We want to make sure Clinton can get actually home for the first time in a month.
Yes.
So Clinton, you said something about the 0-7, starting 0-7, and you suffered the wrath that is states where teams can go up and down, and these are battle tested robots, and everyone's playing for a championship. It's not like they're being reserved. They're kind of just driving wheels off things, right? So do you equate a lot of stuff to the scouting that teams do?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's probably Kyle's the one that could probably answer the question more. They were the ones in the picking position. I know that there was questions asked about us and our team and what our capabilities, and maybe like what we think was going on with the robot, and how we felt. I mean, I'll say that our team, even me as a drive coach, was emotionally affected by those losses. It's hard to like overcome that. Now, granted, like I said, we went 0-7, but then like the rest of our matches, we went, we won all of them and got, I think, 4 RP in all of them except for maybe 1. So we like came back, and it wasn't enough to get in a high picking position. So we kind of had to be at the mercy of the alliance selection. Now, fortunately, like I said, I assume Kyle can talk to this, is like, the people you want to be with and the people that are scouting, that rank doesn't matter. Even for our team, like, where your rank does not matter. It matters what you bring to the alliance and what you can do on the field.
How do you want to address that question about the scouting?
Yeah, and sorry,
he's been on the podcast before. Hi, welcome back.
The minute I get on the computer, he comes in, and he's not going to leave. Clint is completely right. When there was a lot of conversation that was going on our team about what we were going to do. A lot of conversation, and it was passionate conversation. But when it came right down to it, we looked at the data, and I'm not usually involved in the decision-making process. They try to keep me out of it, and they kept coming back to me, and they're like, what do you think? What do you think? And I'm like, I had my feelings about certain things, and then they'd come back again. And then I did talk to Clint and talked about, what was going on over the weekend, because I needed to know what the pulse of his team was. And, and basically I asked him if I could talk to his kids too, and would he be acceptable to me talking to his kids, because what I wanted them to understand is that regardless of what happened, they were going to be starting out the next day. You know, if we chose them, they'd be starting off the next day with a partner that they know they can count on. And would that help? And would that help them feel more comfortable? And in the same with Clint. And I'll tell you, the data said everything. You know, their team was in our division with our data. 2337 was the second highest contributor on that field, even with 7 losses. We were just wanted to make sure, as we, you know, talk this through, were they fired up and ready for it, or were they, you know, because it can paralyze you.
Yep.
You can freeze your drivers just from, you know, a bad loss. And you know, they brought it 100%. We picked them, and we had, I think, an amazing run. There were a few times where things got a little scary and a little nerve-wracking. And still give me goosebumps. I just got goosebumps everywhere because I had to play another match. But they brought it. And I just, you know, I think this is truly the story of, if you can get your drivers at MSC to, or anywhere, to relax and to do what they do and not think about the fear of what was going into this. And there is, you know, then anything can happen. And we did, you know, Clint and I and our partnership, all three. I mean, we had the banana man running around with a jar of pickles. Tell me he's not relaxed. We just tried to keep the kids, the students, just comfortable. Just, you know, the delays, who cares? It's another match. Okay, just go out one ball at a time. That's what we said. Just one ball at a time. Just, you know, get that ball and score it, and one more, and just one more, and one more. And if you can do it faster and faster and faster, that's great. But yeah, we really, I know my sister was, and she doesn't know anything about robotics. She was watching the live feed for the selection process. And when we picked 2337, the comments that were going on was, what do they know that nobody else knows? You know, I mean, it was, and then, you know, and Rush really blew it, and they don't know what they're doing. And then to come back and win it, my sister was like, what did you know? You know, tell me your secrets. And the secret was the data.
Yeah,
The data
it's more than rank.
Yeah, it's the
like,
data and being able to work together. And that was huge.
Yeah, I mean, in to tie into that real quick, I think our alliance played amazing. There was matches at the championship that we had down in Houston that we were running into each other and all that kind of stuff at Houston. And at MSC, we were conscious of where everyone was, where the other robots were. Like, if we noticed the game pieces were like in between us, we would shift so that the person that didn't have any resources or cargo near them could get that one, and we could go the other way. I think all of us ran into some kind of like issue throughout the match. I don't know where it was. I think there was one time where 27 had something going around, and they're like, you said something like there was something not working right, and you're like, we'll take the D. Don't worry about it. They think they're playing good defense on us, and then we continued to shoot and follow up because they thought they were. I forget what match it was, but maybe everyone's gonna still think that they were doing amazing D on you guys and stuff. But like we
were working. That's what people didn't know. We pulled
Yeah.
the D because they wanted to defend us, and we just kept moving around to keep them away from our other scorers.
Yeah, and so that type of stuff, like, we really worked as an alliance, and like. I can't say it enough, is like all three of us is all three of our teams is what won it. It wasn't just one of us. It wasn't, you know, just a team or two teams or whatever. It was all of us working together, you know, and making sure we assessed the situations in every match and played them and didn't worry about the next match until we were done with the first one. So.
And Pete, we communicated. There was like, I mean, it was the golden rule that if something went wrong, you immediately, you know, yelled it out so everybody knew what was going on. So if something, you know, the minute someone wasn't shooting or something was happening or there was heavy D, it was just always communicated. And that was one of my most frustrating experiences through the season, is that when someone would break and they wouldn't tell you.
Yeah.
And, you know, you would expect them to go hang. And then all of a sudden you realize, you look at the time, they're not there. You look over and they're dead on the other side. You know, why didn't I know that? Shame on me. But at the same time, they never told me, you know, it's like,
Yeah.
and that's really frustrating. And that was something that we really worked on when we talked about our alliance strategy. We talked about communication. We talked about staying calm. We talked about one ball at a time and just really, you know, working together and shifting the field if we had to. Yeah. So now we gave you all our secrets, Pete.
So I've worked with Clinton. I've driven with both you guys and against both you guys. So I understand. And you guys are always like that. So just so people understand, when you guys are great drive coaches, I'm not just saying that because you guys won a state championship. I've drove against you and with you, and you guys are always communicative. So if anyone's watching this, the good thing is, whether you're broken or not, communicate with your alliance so that you guys can try to pull at least 2 RP or a single RP out of it rather than that. But I think what you guys both brought to light with scouting is, this doesn't have to just have to happen at state championships. It should happen at every district,
every tournament.
And Clinton, our team was like yours. We went to a district and we just put up as many as we could. You know, the Lansing district, right? We were the number 4 scoring robot in the whole thing. Our record did not show that. But if you scouted, Feds, thank you, Feds, for picking us. Feds helped us get our first blue banner, right? So, but because they did their scouting, right?
Yeah.
We scouted you and they had questions. And it's all about communication. So anyone that's out there that's on the drive team or a drive coach, please take that.
And I usually make the joke of saying, like, you want to get picked by the teams that notice and recognize it, right? Like, I don't mean to say it, like, there's times where, like, you know, you might be ranked higher and you get picked higher because of your rank, and that's maybe not where you should have went. I don't know how to explain that. There's kind of like some weird edge cases where, like, you know, you might get picked by the, let's say, number 4th alliance, and the data actually shows that you really shouldn't be picked that early, and you would have been like the last member of the number 1 alliance or something like that. But you want to get picked by the teams that look at scouting data and don't just look at ranking. Ranking's there to try to figure out who should get the first pick, but it is not the say all end all. And there's a lot of other factors that go into, you know, what your alliance can do, you know, in terms of the matches and stuff like that, that you might pick other things, right? I know a lot of times this season we looked at people who, you know, for our 3rd member, we try to look to make sure someone had a good intake that stayed inside their frame perimeter, to try to avoid the dreaded 204 or 205 penalties that are out there. And that's something that we looked at. So, like, I mean, I don't mean to say that, like, sometimes just having an intake that's out all the time might have caused you to you know, get on our no thank you list. The funniest part about all that, me saying that, is our intake goes out and stays out. We can't bring it back in. So we might have been in the same situation where at our own demise, you know, other people were seeing that and seeing it as a risk. So.
So again, thank you for coming on board, right? We're not done yet. I'm just saying, I'm completing one segment to go to the other segment. Congratulations again. And the Tornadoes 50-90 for all winning the Michigan State Championships. So now my next question is, what are you going to do now? Kyle, what is there's teams out there, you know, our season's done and everyone's twiddling their thumbs, or they're spending time on Chief Delphi, which there's some very interesting conversations going out there. I don't even type that. I'm like, I'm staying away from that. Thank you. I'll move on. But what does your team concentrate on now for those teams that are like, what do we do now? Right? There's teams out there. They're looking for things to do. What do you guys do now?
Well, this week we started cleaning, and that means we finally are home, and we literally yesterday opened up the bins for the first time. It's been kind of crazy because I came back on a bus from Houston to then the next weekend drive to Houghton to get my son who's graduating from Michigan Tech. So I put another 16 hours on my body. And then last weekend I had a special little birthday weekend. So I was away again. But anyway, we just opened up the bins, and, you know, we're cleaning. We've got our senior signing day, which we're going to do next Tuesday, as well as a lot of other first teams. We are, oh my goodness, there's going to be a celebration this weekend for our team, but the applications for next year are due tomorrow. So any kid that's returning I need to know right away. So I know who my planning committee is going to be for next year. And then what we do is we sit down and I talk with these kids about like, what are the traditions that stay and what are the traditions that we create? Because they're the new team. So if there's something that they go, why do we always do this? I still can trump that, but for the most part, I let the kids, but there's some things that we just have to do. After 26 years, we have to. But so we've got that, and then they'll have interviews on Thursday. So we do interviews just because it's really good for them. And then we will open up to the other students, but we've got a rush camp right after school, starting the second week of June, where I bring all the new kids and all the kids together and we go over who is Team Rush. We go over the history, we go over all sorts of stuff. There's so many teams that don't know their team history, and that's so vitally important to us because they need to understand that everything we do is because we failed somewhere. And so we have good policies because of a failure before, and that created what we do now. So they learn the history, and we do team builders and all sorts of engineering stuff. Then we have 2 weeks of camps, which I'm still developing this week. And then we have the regatta, which is our biggest fundraiser, July 9th. And then I hope we're going to IRI.
Yep.
Yes. I need judges. So you three gentlemen are welcome to be judges on my beach on July 9th.
I've done it before.
Yep. So, and then the following weekend's IRI, and then I'm taking a break. However, tomorrow night, we're meeting with all the mentors and whatever kids want to talk about the robot evaluation, and then what are we doing this summer. So we have lots and lots of plans for the summer. They told me they wanted to do one night a week and just meet all summer for special projects. And as of last week, it's now Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday nights. I told them they're crazy. I need a break, but it is what it is. Those kids, they want to learn. The kids want CAD. They want everything. And so what I think is really cool, Pete, is that kids are demanding learning.
Yep.
They're demanding their own education and they don't even know it. So I think that's pretty special.
It is very special. Clinton,
Mhm.
what are you guys going to do? What's the EngiNERDS going to do?
Well, this weekend in Grand Blanc, we are having a returnable can drive and bottle return. So if anyone has any cans and they want to bring it up to Grand Blanc to help cover the cost for our students that had to go to the championship. Once again, we didn't have time to do that can drive before we left. We just had to go and assumed we would be able to get funding later. So we're doing that
This thing's crazy. They raise so much money on that.
We do raise. We do raise quite a bit of money. If you don't have any cans to return, we'll take cash. That's fine too. It's the best bottles that you can return are it's $20 bills. So you just hand those over. But we're doing that this weekend, and then kind of through the summer, we also applied to go to IRI. So that's on our radar to be able to go to. So we usually go to IRI. We usually go to Mark. We usually go to Kettering. We go to Bloomfield girls event. We do that as well. So those are kind of our off-season schedule. We also participate in Beck's Robotics through the summertime. That's considered our JV program. So we have all our students get on our JV team building smaller 18 by 18 by 18 size robots just to keep them fresh and, coming up with strategy, designs, intake, stuff like that. And we might be doing some drone stuff this summer. As well, have a drone team, maybe a Bell helicopter drone competition. That's in the fall though that we're gonna maybe be doing. Man, there's a lot of stuff, and we meet twice a week all year round. We meet Mondays and Thursdays, so we're not as crazy as 3 days a week, but crazier than 1 day a week. So, and the reason we do Monday Thursdays is because we try to do that to mix it up, because a lot of times clubs will be like Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, or Tuesday, Thursdays. We try to get one from each of those sections, so Monday and Thursday. That way, if a student can only come 1 day a week, they can still come to that. And then in the summertime, the other thing we'll do is melon chunking with our students. They build giant catapults and chunk like cantaloupe. And last year, I think one of our students threw one over 300 feet.
When do you do that?
We do that at our alumni barbecue in August. So
Big
we do
note.
we do our alumni barbecue where we try to get all of our alumni to come back before they go to college again. And kind of come by and see the team and, you know, the facility and stuff like that. Sometimes we get students from like, you know, 2008, 2009 to come by when we first started. And then we, in the afternoon, have them, you know, launch the melons. And then a lot of times we'll eventually go back to my house and have a bonfire at my house and stuff like that. So,
Pete, I forgot the biggest thing that we're going to be doing is celebrating our 27th year. So we're gonna be rolling out every month on the 27th. There's going to be some sort of celebration, social media celebration, and then you mentioned the alumni. We're going to have at Christmas every year, December 27th. We have an alumni celebration because people come home for the holidays, and so we're going to be doing that. And I don't know. We're just going to hope. I don't know what do you do when we missed the 25? We thought 27 was much more appropriate.
it is.
It is.
It is.
It is.
It's much better.
This is going to be our 27th year.
I can't
And
wait
year
for
round.
our 2,337th. You know, we'll get there one day.
Hope you're still there, Clinton.
Yeah, me too. Technologies, come on, students, figure it out for me. Figure it out so I can be around for that.
The whole
Congratulations, Kyle. That's really
Doctor
cool.
Strange going forward with wrist.
Mhm.
Congratulations. 27 that's a lot of years.
It's a lot of
Wow.
years. Mhm.
Yeah, I think
Finished
I was
26.
You started when you were like 3 years old there?
Oh, bless your heart. No, I just had a birthday on Friday, and I haven't quite rolled into a new decade, but I'm very close. Next year, what we did to poor Dennis at Troy had in Troy, Dennis's birthday, he had his 60th, and we just, oh, Lord have mercy, buttons, posters, memes all weekend. So
it's appropriate. It's a very
Yeah.
appropriate.
I'm just glad that my birthday's not during the season, but
Yeah.
Oh, you're lucky.
Yes.
I get a robot for my birthday every year.
You get a robot every year for your birthday?
Yeah, actually, every year my students ask, or maybe they don't ask, and we just, you know, tell them you need to have a moving scoring robot by my birthday, which is February 5th.
Gotcha.
And usually they rise to the occasion and have a scoring robot by the.
That's
by
very
the
aggressive.
5th. Yep.
So I'm sure that both you guys won state champion. You have banners that you won this year. It was nice to be back out on that field, right? If that's the one thing that anyone can take away, they can just say, "Hey, we touched a field for the first time in 2 years," which is nice.
Yeah, I think being on the field is definitely up there for me. But to be totally honest, I've been telling my students all season long when we do our pluses and deltas. Thank you, Kyle. And seeing friends has been my by far number one thing that I take away from every event, is actually being able to see people I haven't seen in a really long time, see them in person, hang out with them, talk with them about anything, their families and robots and all that type of stuff. And like, that's been the most amazing thing about this entire, you know, season, was going back to that.
Mine was the same, seeing people, but even more so hugging people. And like you said at the beginning, Pete, all the pictures of the embracing, like I couldn't get enough hugs. And when I went down to Worlds, it was really neat for me this year. And I don't know why it was so different, but I usually hide in the pits, and you can find me. I'm somewhere tucked in the corner on a little teeny stool. But I came out of my shell, and I met so many wonderful teams at Worlds this year. And I think everybody was just blasting out to meet people and to talk to people. You know, I just had such a wonderful time with the Israeli team and the Turkey team, the Turkish teams, and, you know, Sneaky Snakes were in our pits all the time. And that was very awesome to me. It didn't matter where I went. To me, there's no handshakes. It's give me a hug. And that's what first was always about for me before. And it's back. And I have more pictures of me hugging people this season than I think I've ever gotten. And I think it's wonderful just to be with people.
I think one of my favorite hugs this year was me hugging Kyle after we won. I may have lifted her up a little bit higher than expected. So
my legs went up over my head. I thought as soon as you grabbed me, I went, all right, let it go. And my legs just went, woo. Yes, the picture was awesome.
afterwards, I was like, I probably shouldn't have lifted her that high. So anyways, I was
We're
excited.
We won.
Well, we're a minute away from our hard stop, right? John, next week, or actually we're going to do one in 2 weeks because I won't be here next week. I'll be in Alaska. In 2 weeks, we'll come back and we'll catch up with you. We'll talk about summer programs and that type of thing coming up. I think Clinton's doing, he's going to be coaching. There he is. He's going to be coaching one of the drive team.
Drive camps.
Drive camp. There we go. I knew there was
Yep.
a nomenclature.
I have
Drive
3 of them total. We'll be doing them a couple times throughout the season.
Okay.
Summer.
So we'll talk about that in a couple of weeks. Maybe we get Clinton back on here. And we always put Kyle on the spot. It's my personal goal every time. But I want to thank you guys for coming on board again with us. Before you tell us who you are, or as you tell us who you are and you sign off, Kyle, give me your impression of what Charged Up's going to be. Go.
There's going to be some sort of a panel that you're going to have to do things, and it's going to level up. It's going to give you, like, the energy levels. It's going to have something to do with energy. So, there's going to be energy cells, whether they're Frisbees, or you're going to have to do something with energy cells. I don't know. I've thought nothing of it. So that was truly on the spot.
I love it. And tell us what team you're from, Kyle.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm from Team 27, Team Rush, and we're going to be celebrating every month on this 27th. So join us on our social media and have some fun. We might have some prizes, some cool 27th prizes.
And the current reigning Michigan State champ, Alliance captain.
Yes, thank you.
You're next, Clint.
Hi, Clinton Bolinger. Just to let everyone know, we just released our CAD for our robot on Chief Delphi. I posted it a couple hours ago. So if anybody wants to check out our robot, we reveal the entire robot. You can kind of see our thought process kind of through it. There's some little nuggets in there of kind of the concepts early on that we kept in there. So we totally released that to everyone. So we released that today. You can find us on social media, team2337.com, Facebook, all the fancy things. In terms of the game, I'll give you some. There's going to be steps. So you're going to have to go up on levels, and then to go up on those levels, then there's going to be like some posts or rings, and you're going to take inner tubes and slide them over the post, and it'll be like a battery. And the higher the inner tubes go up, the more charged up you are. So inner tubes are the game pieces, and it's not going to be even floor. It's going to be steps that you have to climb.
Anti-swerve game. That's
Yes,
what I'm
that's what
hearing.
they're going to do. They might do that.
No. Adjusted to figure out how to make swerve still work.
Mhm.
Agreed. And John, you gonna sign off? Tell us who you work for, who you are. I've never asked you to do that one.
No, you haven't. My name is John Wolfert. I work at the Kettering University Robotics Center. Actually, I retired to here and just have fun all the time. Enjoy myself, the kind of people that are here, the people that are trying to work with kids and inspire kids, and you see that all the time, and I don't think there's a better environment you could be in. And I get to get on things and talk to people. Well, I talk to Clinton all the time, but I get to
Around there.
talk
Literally.
to great people, right? That and you got Kyle, who's been doing this for so many years, and looking behind her, it's like, whoa. But
It's wall art.
but I truly appreciate it. For me, it's been a great journey, from the first day I walked in and saw something to today, and it's going to be a journey that keeps on going. But I also believe it's going to be a step climbing, the end game, that you're not just going to be able to go up and go to the top. You're going to have to climb steps. So that ought to be interesting if you have to do that, right?
First takes on
We're gonna be charged up and energized to play this game.
Clayton has a degree in marketing.
Yeah, it's called being a dad. It's
Yes.
called dad jokes.
Dad jokes. It's a good
Yeah,
dad
I gotta
joke.
say, just to sum it up, being with everybody has been so great. And John just mentioned it, first mentors. they understand each other because we all suffer the same thing, the same trauma, I guess you could call it. And, you know, when you suffer together, you grow together. And I think that that is, for me, when I finally get to a tournament, they're my people. And I say that because they're the only people that understand what I do. There's no one in my district that understands what I do. Our team understands me, but nobody else does. And when you're with all these people, you know, it's just, it's common. You just look at people and you laugh because you're on the same trauma center.
That's a good point. So with that, that was beautifully executed, Kyle. You are my people.
You are my people.
Thank you for congratulations one more time for you guys winning the Michigan State Championship and 5090 out there. Congratulations. I look forward to driving against you. Oh, I have to end this. Clinton, I look forward to driving against you at Kettering Kickoff.
Let's go. Bring it.
All right. See you guys. Have a great
All right,
night.
thanks.
Thanks, guys.
Okay,
Bye.
Bye, guys.
bye.